Greetings, Nerdfighters. I'm Teresa Mobley, and I'm here to share with you my road to Nerdfighteria. I would start with saying my road to Nerdfighteria is a unique one, but who couldn't say that? I don't feel like I fit the typical mold of a nerdfighter. Do any of us fit the mold of a specific type of nerdfighter? It doesn't seem like it, does it? Let's be honest, that's part of what makes this community so great. There isn't just one road, and that's why we're able to make these great, engaging, and telling videos. My road to Nerdfighteria started in, of all places, my classroom. I was teaching a 4-5 split in an elementary school that's a K-6 elementary school. One day I was on Tumblr and I came across a quote from Wil Wheaton. You may have seen this quote before, and no, I'm not talking about Wil Wheaton's Law of the Internet. Be honest, be kind, be honorable, work hard, and always be awesome. And I thought, aha, this embodies everything I want to teach my class. This is the set of rules I'm going to use in my classroom this year. And so I made a graphic to use as my background on my smartboard, and it looked something like this. Boys and girls, I've been thinking a lot about the rules for our classroom, and I came across this quote, and I really think it's what we need to help us remember what to do in class. I went on to say this is a quote from someone named Wil Wheaton. He used to be on a show called Star Trek Next Generation. He's gone on to do more acting. He does some writing, but you may not have heard of him. So this hand goes up, and it's a kid I really like, and I called on him and I said, yeah, what's up? And he said, that's my uncle. And then I looked at him confused and I said, I'm sorry, honey, who's your uncle? And he's like, Wil Wheaton, that's my uncle. And I said, you're joking, right? Like, the Wil Wheaton, the guy who, like, was in Star Trek, is your uncle? He's like, yeah, that's my uncle. That night, I'm on the computer working, as always, and I'm on Twitter, and I put in, kid in my class says he's related to @Wil Wheaton. Wonder if this is possible. Within, like, seconds, I had a reply from Wil Wheaton. Wil Wheaton writes back to me, and he says, who's your student? What just happened here? Did Wil Wheaton just tweet me? So I get a message back that says, ZOMG, that's totally my nephew. What? I'm a teacher, and today I went over my new class rules, and here's the graphic I used for my class rules, and they're based on a quote that you have said in the past. And he was like, oh my gosh, that's so awesome. Thank you for being a teacher, blah, blah, blah. That was crazy. So at recess, I check my messages, and it's all these messages from my friends saying, this is my friend Teresa. Oh my gosh, that's her. And Wil Wheaton has written a blog about our encounter and has posted the image that I created. Fast forward, Threadless hosts a t-shirt competition for teachers. Thinking about my design, I message Wil Wheaton and say, hey, I'm considering submitting this. It's your quote. I want to make sure it's cool with you. It's a charitable thing. Are you cool with this? In the meantime, he gets bitten by a dog and doesn't respond. Eventually, he responded and he said, this is an awesome idea. I have a better idea. Why don't I pitch this plan to my friends John and Hank, and maybe they can print it at their company, DFTBA. P.S. I have no interest in making any money off of this. I'm cool with all of this going to you and to charity. And if Threadless gets it, you'll get nothing. I'm like, John and Hank? Who the F is Hank? So I do some research and I look up DFTBA and I find a video about a guy in a warehouse saying, hey, we're releasing Story Wars and we have these t-shirts. And I'm like, what? I look up again and I find this bizarre music video with this guy with a blonde stripe in his hair and like this guy singing about dandelions fly through blue air, and I'm like, okay. And I tell my friend, hey, Wil Wheaton wrote me back and he said this thing, and she's like, dude, do you know who that is? John and Hank, DFTBA, John Green. I have sent you videos from them before. They are so cool. They're so great. You're so gonna love them. It's such a perfect fit. Oh yeah. I remember thinking, who the hell is this Hank person that this John guy's always talking to? What is this? I did some research, watched a couple of videos, and decided I am starting from the beginning. I went all the way back to the beginning. I binged on all of it. Was done far too quickly, and then started looking at a lot of the warehouse videos, Vita videos, and that led me to being interested in Michael Aranda because Matthew kept referring to Michael, and I checked out Michael, and he was talking about camera equipment. John and Hank have changed my life. I've gone to VidCon, I've gone to Hank concerts, I've gone to Megan Tanja's concerts. I've met really great people like Hank and Michael Aranda, and all the computers in my classroom have Michael Aranda stickers on them. I've hung out with people like Matthew Gatos. I've had the pleasure of walking through the VidCon floor and have people who I admire and respect and think are super cool be like, "Hey Teresa, how's it going?" I've met Lindsay Doe. She's super awesome and super nice. I've met Caitlin Hoffmeister, become friends with her online. She's such an amazing person, so positive, so admirable. Nick Jenkins, you're the unsung hero of Nerdfighteria. I've made vlogs for my class, I've made connections with new people, I've gone to VidCon and concerts, and I'm going to NerdCon, and I couldn't be happier that I made the decision to make that graphic that night instead of doing my work. So thank you so much to everybody in Nerdfighteria for making such a huge impact in my life. I'm so thankful for all the great people I've met, all the great concerts. Hank Green knows who my son is. Could you ask for a more positive influence than John and Hank Green? No. Because of John and Hank, I have awesome posters in my classroom. I wear ridiculous things about cats that nobody understands. Nerdfighteria, you are my heart. Nerdfighteria, you are the best. And as they say in my hometown, don't forget to be awesome and stuff. Duh. I got that going for me, which is nice.